So this morning was pretty much a tuning in, really, wasn't it? A tuning, dialing in, making some reflections and sort of steering ourselves towards that state of natural rest. But how do we reliably enter into that state if we're not that well practiced with meditation? To enter into the state of pure awareness where the mind has come to cessation is a very high meditative state. Usually it takes some kind of pointing out or transmission to prompt a sort of short-circuiting of the mind, where suddenly the mind stops. Because if we try to actively bring the mind to cessation using the mind itself, we can get ourselves into a bit of a muddle. But there is a mechanism, there are mechanisms by which we can steer ourselves out of the mind, the analytical, looking in, scrutinizing, witness to kind of mindfulness, to that state of presence and pure awareness. So for this session and the early part of this afternoon, we're going to look at the actual meditative process by which we enter into awareness. Because as I was explaining in the last talk, those two hidden aspects of reality, the creative process or the creative energy and the ground from which it's arising, are hidden from our ordinary perception. Our mind cannot discern them directly. So we need to enter into and establish a relationship with awareness, what we call awareness. I call it awareness. It's called much more than that in many traditions. But that fundamental state of pure awareness from which our mind is arising merely as a display. So we could see that awareness within ourselves, awareness is the ground of our experience. Our mind is our volitional display. And how we experience things is conditioned by that volitional conditioning factor. The creative process is the conditioning factor. Our mind within us is a conditioning factor that hugely determines the quality of what we experience. Because you could put two people in front of exactly the same experience, and one would have the time of their lives and one would consider it to be an absolute nightmare, depending entirely upon the quality of mind that arose in that moment. So we can't get to any consensus reality using our mind, because it's so conditioned and personalized. So we need to train our meditative attitude to leave the mind behind and to emerge in a state of awareness. That alone is a great milestone in meditation. So we're going to do it through training and developing the way in which we pay attention. To pay attention to things that the mind can't discern. The mind can't feel directly the sense of weight within your body. The mind can't feel whether there's tension or whether you're relaxed. Certainly the mind can't feel the stillness in the room around you. So by averting our attention to things that the mind can't discern, we encourage awareness to shine through. So let's try that. This meditation you probably learned from me at the very beginning of your meditation career with me, if you've been practicing before. Meditation on mountain, lake, sky, I can't emphasize how important it is. Wherever we go with our meditation, we want to establish awareness as the ground. So let's go through that one time before lunch. Perhaps now starting to see within that meditation something a little bit deeper at work than just the reflection on mountain, lake, sky. Let's do our meditation. Relax back into your posture. Give yourself time. Don't just make a gesture, go through the process of sinking and settling down into your body. Releasing the layers of tension and gripping. Coming to natural rest. First, work through the layers of muscle, tissues, from the top of your head down through your body. Let go the tendency to look into your meditation from your mind. This mind as the witness is wrong mindfulness. It just is mindfulness. Your experience is full of your mind. Try to just feel and leave it at that. Be with the feeling and let it relax through your whole body from the top of your head downwards. The layers of tension that you grow used to, that cause you to contract in some way, try to yield into them and encouraging them to let go, release. Feel how you're breathing. Whether your breath is reflecting a gripping quality in your mind, is your belly completely relaxed? Is your diaphragm relaxed? Try to feel through your nerves, where you might be holding tension. The nerves conduct the vital current of life, which is conditioned by the quality of our mind. If our mind is agitated, our nerves become disturbed. Are you really sitting dead weight upon the floor? Are you holding your body in a state of some kind of tension? Are you sitting as if you were just a sack of rice just placed there, finding a natural state of rest? takes time for the body to relax deeply, and a state of mountain-like presence to emerge. The awareness that feels your own physical presence is not generated in the mind. It is already present within you, within the body itself. Feel your heart. What do we mean when we say feel the heart? There is a subtle element in the heart itself, not in the heart chakra, but in the heart, a clear light from which the mind arises, a clear light that is the ground of awareness, a clear light within which the display of the mind registers with its impulsion. Our heart is like water. The heart base is like water. Its natural state is a state of natural rest, of mirror-like clarity. The mind that arises does so, and in doing so disturbs the mirror-like surface of the heart. The moment you grasp or reject your experience or react to it one way or another, that tendency of the mind is like throwing a pebble in the clear pool of your heart. Disturbs it. The stronger the reaction, the greater the pebble, the more the disturbance. But although water can be greatly disturbed and churned up to the point that it is nothing like mirror-like, it always returns to a state of natural rest. As soon as you stop throwing pebbles in a pond, it becomes still. As soon as you stop grasping at your experience with your mind, seeking to make it yours, rejecting it with aversion or adding your ideas, your heart settles like water, and the mirror-like quality of awareness returns and reveals itself spontaneously. Feel your heart base, the light in your heart. Let it settle naturally like water. Do not experience stillness until you leave everything alone. Leave everything as it is. the ambient state of stillness that surrounds us everywhere, that rests behind the coming and going of things regardless of their display, is not apparent to the mind. It reveals itself only within the mirror-like quality of awareness itself. The mind is lost in the display. Your heart rests upon the basic ground, within the ground. As your heart settles and you become calm within you, feel the stillness around you. Don't reach out for it with your mind as if it was something to grasp. Rest at your heart and tune in to that stillness that lies behind. Your heart like a mirror, awareness, clear and sky-like. Just rest, natural rest. Your body like a mountain. Feel it settled, spontaneously, naturally, effortlessly present. Nothing to do or add. Your heart, like water, the mirror-like surface of a still pool of water, utterly undisturbed, at rest. There is nothing to do or add. Awareness itself, vast and sky-like, boundless. Ground within which all things appear, into which they pass away. There is nothing to do or add. Just rest, natural rest. Gati, gati, Bharagati, Parasangati, Bodhi Suham. Gati, gati, Paragati, Parasangati, Bodhi Suham. Beyond, beyond, utterly beyond. Beyond the arising and passing of your mind and its display. Your true nature rests effortlessly within itself, and it is not in conflict. Leave everything as it is. Just let go. Feel your whole body as one. Come back to your body, its mountain-like presence. And feel from your heart with gentleness. Suki no akemi no hondu sabe sata bhavantu sukhitata. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. Breathe in and relax. All right. So stretch yourself out, ease yourself out of your meditation. So, since we've established, and I hope that you're in accord with, that the mind has yet to touch the sacred, then a big part of our journey to connect to the sacred is establishing that quality of consciousness that actually can. So, when we reach out for something transcendent with the mind, we always fall short and are left filling the gap with ideas. It's basically what the mind is. The mind fills the gap between our perception and reality. The bit we can't discern, we have to fill in for ourselves. So that's our tendency. Our tendency is to stop short, and instead of developing the depth of our perception, we develop the depth of our thinking mind. We think profoundly about how things might be, unable to discern clearly whether that's so. So this crucial stage on the journey is to stop the grasping with the mind for answers, resolution, for anything, so that we can start to build the quality of perception that arises as a byproduct of direct awareness. Because reality appears only within the mirror of awareness. What arises within our mind is our idea of reality. So remove the mind. Only the mirror remains. And the mirror is never impinged upon or disturbed by that which it reflects. And so undisturbed, it reflects perfectly.